Hello everybody and welcome to the third episode of System Update. Done with episode 2, no more 3 parts or anything stupid like that. There hasn't been a lot of news lately, mostly because it's post E3, and usually after E3, everything's been said and done for a while. However, I did manage to find some, and with that said, let's hop right into it. Batman Arkham Knight was taken off of the Steam store for having too many PC problems. There were frame rate drops, crashes, frequent bugs, everything you would not want in your video game. So, Warner Brothers completely just took it off of the Steam store. Gary Lake Skval, VP of Game Technology at Warner Bros., posted an article on Steam saying, "We want to apologize to those of you who are experiencing performance issues with Batman Arkham Knight. We take these issues very seriously, and have therefore decided to suspend future game sales of the PC version while we work to address these issues to satisfy our quality standards. We greatly value our customers and know that while there are a significant amount of players who are enjoying the game on PC, we want to do whatever we can to make the experience better for PC players overall." A lot of PC ports of AAA titles are not very good, especially in recent years. I know for a fact Evil Within was a very bad PC port. The Dark Souls, at least the first game, was also very bad on PC. All of Koei Tecmo games were horrible when ported to the PC. One of them wasn't even translated to English. You know, I don't know which game that is, probably because it wasn't translated to English. Steam refunds are available to anyone who bought the game and had these problems. Now, what really surprises me about this whole thing is the fact that they are completely taking it off of the Steam store. Usually game developers, if they have a broken PC port, they generally don't care a whole lot. They just allow their games to be broken for a while, then patch it up with updates within a few months. That's usually how it goes. It really surprises me that they, took into account the fact that people were upset about this, and they completely took it off the Steam store and said, "We'll fix it, don't worry about it, you'll be able to play the game how you want it in like a month or so." And I think that's really good. I really like it that developers are listening to, big company developers are actually listening to what people have to say about their games, learning that it's being really bad, and saying, "We can't have this, we want the game to be good for people." Really surprised me with Batman Arkham games, especially. I haven't really been a huge fan of the Arkham games, really, and I wasn't really too excited for Arkham Knight. But if you were, and you got the PC version, that, it's really upsetting. But they're taking it off the Steam store, they're going to completely fix it, and they didn't exactly say when it was going to be back on the Steam store, but whenever it is, hopefully it'll be fixed up. I personally am not a PC player. I've got a very lackluster PC that can barely run the recording program I'm using right now. With that said, I think it's time we move on to our next article. The Nintendo NX, Nintendo's next console, is said to begin manufacturing in October and shipping in May or June of 2016. I think it's a bit early for them to start shipping out a new console, but I guess it was 2012 when the Nintendo Wii U shipped. The Wii U's only shipped 9.5 million units, however, Nintendo plans to sell 20 million Nintendo NX units in the first year, which is very large. Like I said, the Wii U's only shipped 9.5 million units since 2012. It's been almost 3 years now. Now, what I'm thinking is Nintendo's finally going to, get with it. And by that, I mean Nintendo's finally gonna try to make a console that hardware competes with. They're gonna finally try to make a console with hardware that actually competes with the Xbox One and PS4 and whatever Microsoft or Sony are going to show off in the next 2 or 3 years. Nintendo has never really been about not really performance, but power to say. They've never really been about having the best, most powerful console, but only having the console with, quality family games or such. But I feel like if they want to ship 20 million units, they're going to have to make it a powerful console. That was sort of the reason the Wii U didn't sell that well, is because a lot of players did not really they wanted to pick between 3 consoles, the Xbox One, the PS4, and the Wii U, if they didn't already buy them all. And obviously they were going to pick the Xbox One or PS4 better because it's more powerful, and they can play more games on it. Sure, with the Wii U, you get a lot of Nintendo's games, in fact, all of Nintendo's games. Nintendo doesn't like to make games for other consoles or PC, but those were the only games you were going to be able to play. You wouldn't be able to play a lot of the other bigger AAA titles that would be cross-platform, except for, Black Ops 2 and Mass Effect 3, and various other games that were ported over when the Wii U first launched. I'm really hoping, like I said, it'll compete with the Xbox One and PS4, but then again, the Xbox One and PS4 in about 3 or 4 years is also going to be tossed out, and whatever Microsoft or Sony come up with in the next 3 or 4 years is going to be replaced. Then the NX is going to have to compete with that. So I really don't know what Nintendo's game plan is. Point is, I hope they make a powerful system this time, then Nintendo can join the likes of the Xbox One and PS4. The Wii U has never really had any of the AAA major titles, that are on the Xbox One and PS4 because it's underpowered, and because Nintendo doesn't take a lot of third-party support, which they've been doing more of recently, with DNA making mobile games. I'm excited for the NX. Like I said, a bit premature. I don't think they need to be shipping a new console yet, but however they want to do it. I have faith in Nintendo. They've rarely let me down. So, hopefully this new NX console is going to be a good one, and hopefully it'll compete with various other hardwares. I'm stuttering a lot, I'm having a hard time talking, and I have no idea why. With that said, I think it's time to move on to the last article of today. Allison Road is the spiritual successor to PT. At least that's what a lot of people are calling it. PT was released on the PlayStation 4, being a playable teaser for the next Silent Hills game. However, Silent Hills was unfortunately cancelled, so some developers took it upon themselves to make sort of what they thought Silent Hills was going to be, or more of a full game version of playable teaser. It's called Allison Road, and the game looks very good. It borrows a lot of aesthetic, and it has a lot of references to PT, and it just looks very good and very atmospherical. I really like horror games, and that made me upset when Silent Hills was canceled. But with this game sort of trying to, bring back what PT showed off, it's really interesting. And I like that developers are, saying, this was canceled, let's make it our own then. I find that really, really neat. The video description reads, at this point pretty much all of our core mechanics are in place, however some actually didn't make the cutoff for the video, which I assume means that the game is developing pretty well. According to the video, it's only pre-alpha prototype, the 13-minute gameplay video. However, the game does look very good. Visually, the game looks very good. There's a lot of atmosphere. Your character has a voice, unlike in PT. That's a difference between this game and PT. And there's even a little reference to PT in which you pick up a card, and on the back it says, "Dad was such a drag," being a reference to the dead fetus monster thing that gave you a little speech at the end, then teased Silent Hills. Then a giant stamp came out of nowhere and stamped "canceled" on Silent Hills, which sucks because, like I said, I was excited for Silent Hills. But now I have another game to be excited about, Allison Road. that is going to wrap it up for this episode of System Update. We're back to 10-minute episodes. No more talking for 30 minutes about E3. 10-minute episodes about, 10 to 15-minute episodes about every week, 3 p.m., Monday. That's how it's going to be from now on until the next big gaming event, in which I need 3 parts to talk about things for an hour and a half. So that's all really I have to say. Once again, I have no official outro, and I just sort of sit here and talk into my microphone and say things about the video being over. I'm not going to be covering the recent releases this time. Rather, I'll just leave a link in the description to a list of games that have been released in this past week. You aren't missing much. Not a lot has been released last week anyway, because it's post E3. So that's about it. I don't know what to say, so I'll just say goodbye. Bye.